Hi, I'm Waveney Belle, Senior HR Executive and founder of Executive Edge. With over 20 years' experience across financial services, banking, insurance, retail, and other regulated industries, I've had the privilege of helping complex organizations align talent, strategy, and culture to drive results, even in the face of disruption. And during those engagements, I've gained a critical insight, and that is culture isn't about perks or posters. It's not about vibes. Culture is capital, it's infrastructure. And like any infrastructure, if you don't design it with intention, it collapses, taking trust, execution, and credibility with it. Today, I want to challenge a dangerous misconception that culture is just a soft ideal. In reality, it determines how fast your strategy moves or if it moves at all. Think about your biggest strategic priorities: digital, AI transformation, market expansion, operational excellence. What makes or breaks these initiatives? It's not just funding or technical design, it's whether your people trust the direction, have role clarity, believe they belong in the future you're building. I've seen organizations implement identical operating models with dramatically different results. The difference? One treated culture as an afterthought. The other took the time to design cultural elements like decision rights, leadership behaviors, and communication routines and strategies with the same rigor as their structural changes. The organization that aligned culture with structure saw implementation accelerate and exceed early adoption expectations, while the other struggled with resistance and eventually gave up on the effort altogether. Culture is execution at scale. When your culture lacks definition, your execution will inevitably not reach its full potential, or even more sadly, it could fail. Boards diligently take the time. Boards diligently take the time to monitor financials, cybersecurity, and operational risks on a routine basis. What about regular assessments of cultural risk? Misaligned culture manifests itself as stalled transformations, leadership churn, and even an exodus of top talent. That's not simply an HR problem. It represents a material enterprise value leakage. In today's environment, where every company is trying to navigate unprecedented change, culture is a form of capital. It requires that we invest, that we measure it, and actively govern culture. According to McKinsey research, companies with strong culture achieve 3 times higher total return to shareholders than others. That's not just a correlation, it's a competitive advantage. That's not just a correlation, it's a competitive advantage. Deloitte even found that 82% of executives believe that culture is a competitive advantage, yet only 12% believe that they have the right culture in their own organizations in place. This gap represents both significant risk but an extraordinary opportunity. The question now becomes, are we building culture with intention or letting legacy behaviors dictate our future by default? Culture doesn't live in HR alone, but HR needs to serve as the architect. We can no longer treat culture as if it's a nice to have in our transformation efforts. It demands structure. Values translated into behaviors, behaviors embedded in systems, systems monitored through data. When HR partners with leadership to embed culture into performance frameworks, talent reviews, and reward systems, when HR partners with leadership to embed culture into performance frameworks, talent reviews, reward systems, culture becomes self-reinforcing and strategy becomes executable. Don't just ask your HR leaders how culture feels, ask how it functions as infrastructure for your business objectives. You already have culture. The only question is whether it's accelerating or hindering your business strategy. Leaders must approach culture like any other critical component of the infrastructure, designing it with precision, funding it adequately, and holding the organization accountable for its integrity. When culture and strategy align, Your organization gains clarity, speed, and resilience. That's how you lead through disruption instead of being defined by it. I'm Waveney Belle. Let's stop managing culture and vibes and start leading it with the same precision we expect from every other critical system. Culture is capital. When it's deferred, underfunded, or overlooked, everything else is at risk.